Who's your favorite NBA basketball player?
Steph Curry.
Why him?
Play just like him.
What's up, y'all? My casa, you feel me? Some slight, one story. You don't need no big house nowadays. You know, my mom right here. I can eat now?
You can eat now. I was a school ball.
We just hooped. You know how that went. Bro, move, bro. How you know that? Hey, God. Oh, no, we're not speaking on that.
What are your grades looking like right now?
I got all A's. See that? I'm a straight A student. Scholar, athlete. Granted, I only got 5 classes, but I'm a scholar athlete.
Oh, how was workouts today?
We did arms. I almost died.
With LeBlanc. Camron was actually dang near born with a basketball in his hand. He's been in the gym since he's probably been 6 weeks old. So as soon as I could leave the house with him, he was in the gym because I was coaching at the time, and so was his dad. I remember when he was about 7 months old, he was laying in the bed with me, and I was laying there shooting like laying on my back, shooting a basketball. And I kept making that motion, and he literally laid on the side of me making that motion. And so I kind of knew then he was probably gonna play basketball. He's always had some kind of goal in the house, like growing up. So I remember we got our house flooded out, our washing machine flooded, and we got all wood floors in the house. And literally, I don't think we ever heard the basketball stop bouncing. He would literally play basketball from the time he got up until the time he went to sleep. And it was like the most annoying thing ever. So, I mean, like I said, it's always just been in him. I think he played in his first league when he was like 6 years old. I think we put him in a YMCA league, and we knew then that the YMCA was not for him. When he became a third grader, Clyde Jackson had the Gulf Coast Blue Chips and was putting together a really good third grade team. And he played on third grade team with, I think, Bryce Griggs, Jonathan Massey. Who else was on that team?
On that team?
Isaac Norris.
On third grade?
Yeah, Jalen, what's Jalen's last? Jalen Goodman. And played on that team up until 6th grade. So 5th and 6th grade, Blue Chips was one of the top teams in the country. And I think after Cameron's 5th grade year, he was actually ranked number 2 in the country. And that was probably the worst thing that could have ever happened, was a kid that young being ranked that high, because literally after that, everybody was coming at his head.
And to my right, I have one of the top players in the country, Camron Amboree, AKA Little Steph Curry. How you feeling today, man?
Good.
For all the people coming out here to see you play this weekend, what can they expect?
For me to go off.
You know, and he did a good job maintaining for a while, but when everybody else got bigger and stronger, you know, he was still, you know, really small and hadn't grown. And so he, you know, had a couple of years where 7th and 8th grade, he still played really well. We played with San Antonio hard work, 7th and 8th grade. And they had really good seasons, and his game started to develop a little more from just being more of a shooter to more of a point guard. And I think 9th and 10th grade were probably his years he struggled just because his body hadn't developed and everybody else's did. So it was pretty interesting going through that experience. And, you know, he got frustrated. You know, he went through this whole, I don't know if I want to play for a minute, you know, and but, you know, we tried to continue to encourage him and, you know, just tell him, like, you know, you got a God-given talent and you're going to have to use it. Like, you know, your body's going to catch up with him. And
so freshman year in the summertime, like, when I was playing with John Lucas, like, I was kind of ready to quit because, like, I wasn't getting a lot of playing time. It felt like I didn't like the game anymore. So I was ready to quit. I was probably the smallest dude on the team. So it was just one day. I was taking a shower, I got the shower, and I get a random FaceTime call. And you know, people don't really FaceTime you unless they know you. Like, unless they know you, they not gonna FaceTime you. So I answered, and I swore for God, it was literally Steph face, right? So, remind you, I'm no clothes on. Just got out the shower. And there he go, just talking to me. So my mama come running in the room like, I know that's not who I think it is. And I'm looking at her like, that's him. But basically, like, he basically called me to just tell me, like, you know, he was always the smallest dude on the court. And, you know, to never give up and just say, like, tough times gonna come, but you just gotta fight through it. So actually that kind of helped me get my head together and keep fighting that summer. But yeah, that's kind of a crazy story that he called me out the blue. And he was with Lenny. They was just out eating dinner. No, where was they at church? They was out eating dinner, and they just called. He just called. So it kind of was like cool that like they was thinking of me, you know, wanted to help. But yeah, it's a good story.
Lanny Smith, who is pictured with Steph Curry in the bottom right picture, he runs a company called Active Faith Sports, and he and Steph Curry are good friends. So he would come and pick Camron up. He would take him to the game and take him to the back to go meet Steph and talk to Steph. So it's been pretty cool to kind of watch how much Camron has grown.
I think it was 4th grade, and we were at a tournament, some local tournament in Houston. And Coach Lucas actually came to the game. And if you know Coach Lucas, he don't go to no high school games, no nothing. He think it's like no point. So he comes to a game, and we playing up. And that day, I hit 8 threes. So he tweets Steph Curry Jr. And I'm talking about literally like that tweet just started blowing up, blowing up, blowing up. So it's like everywhere I went, they was calling me Stephcurry Jr. So then 5th grade comes, and we have that good team, we got blue chips. And we were winning every game, and basically, like, it just blew up because I started doing this, the little thing. So I started doing that. So it just started blowing up. So now it was like everywhere we went now. Steph Curry Jr. Like, they ain't even call me Camron. It was like, that's Steph Curry Jr., that's Steph Curry Jr. Camera's always in my face talking about, that's Steph Curry Jr., that's Steph Curry Jr. So it was kind of funny how I got the name because it was like innocent. Like it was basically like innocent. And people just went with it. And I just stuck with it. Because at first I didn't like it. I was like, my name is Camron, you know. But then I roll with it. And I still roll with it to this day. Like, it'll still people be in my comment section or something like, oh, that's Stephcurry Jr., that's Stephcurry Jr. So something I'm probably going to have to live with for the rest of my life. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, it got so bad to where you couldn't even go to the bathroom.
Couldn't go to the bathroom by myself. It was bad. Like, I couldn't go to the bathroom by myself without somebody coming to ask me for an autograph or
take pictures with
you. Take pictures. Like, I'm like 10. I'm like 11. 10, 11, 12. Like, it was crazy. Like, my dad would literally have to have a parent walk with me everywhere I went. I had stalkers. Man, it was crazy. I wasn't even a teenager yet. It was wild. They kind of enjoyed it, though. It was fun for them.
Oh, God. Damn.
had a big head. I was always Nike down. You know, it's my mama when she was like early 20s. All my cousins, I got all girl cousins. And that's me and my mama when I was a baby. I was the best thing ever, you feel me? I was the best thing ever.
The summer between your sophomore and junior year is probably where you started to really gain some confidence at the point guard spot, and you know, still had, and I attribute a lot of that to Ralph Barreras over at Sam Houston, where Camron went to school. Coach Barreras was really good at ensuring that that Camron worked hard. So one of the knocks on Camron as a young player was that he did not play hard. He marched to the beat of his own drum, and Coach Barreras was not tolerating that. And so that was probably the best thing to happen to him, is that he went and played for Ralph Barreras for that year while his dad worked at Sam Houston. And after that, you know, he had a total change in how he was playing, because now he was playing hard. He's always been very skilled. Like, he's always been one of the most skilled kids in the gym, regardless of, you know, who's in the gym. But as far as him playing hard, he had to learn that. You know, that was not something that was innate in him. I ended up getting a house in Pearland, and Camron transferred to Shadow Creek his junior year, and he played with some really good players in Sean Jones and Ramon Walker and Brian Gordon. And you know, he played around other good players where he wasn't being relied on as the, you know, scorer. And, you know, John Lucas told us probably when he was in 7th or 8th grade that Camron is at his best when he's the 3rd or 4th best player on the team. And, you know, we got a chance to see that last year when, you know, he was roughly about the 3rd best player on the team. And it was a great thing for him, just because he got a chance to play with good players that knew how to play basketball. And we hadn't had that in a while. So this summer, playing with 3D, when coronavirus started, Lord, I didn't know what, he was gonna drive me crazy, I'll say that. Because being stuck in the house with him, not being able to play basketball was terrible. We were literally hopping the fence at the YMCA by where we lived, and literally every day trying to get to the park, or he would be outside. His dad would come over and he would be doing some ball handling, drills with him outside, and you know, that never worked. That did not work for a while. So we kind of just decided that his dad would no longer train him, and we would send him to go train with other people, just so that we can ensure that, you know, their relationship remained intact, because they definitely started butting heads. So. You know, and they've gotten that under control, thankfully. But, you know, I think that being able to separate being, you know, dad and coach and son and ball player, you know, that's really helped.
You gotta come in here, work on your shot. In 5 minutes, I'll give away a free pair of shoes. Ain't nobody getting those shoes. Shh, don't get that on camera. There we go. I don't miss 2 in a row. 2 pieces I got a little minute ago when I was going through a lot with basketball. Basically, it's just something to look at every day you wake up before you go to the gym, you know. I'm gonna get a little motivation every now and then, especially coming from these 2 legends, you know. So it's a good thing to look at every day before you go to school or something, you know, before you go work out or go do whatever. Good life lesson.
Hey, come back. Go. Clap it up, come on. Free throw. Damn. Let's go, big boy. Just a little work. You good? I'll shoot a free throw and get him out of it. Huh? But that ain't for we won. They still behind. We won. I know. I said we won.
He is us. They a part of us.
So I said we won.
You know. Only thing like they don't That's selfish, bro.
They don't make me yard on
together. Everybody together. All right, I'm just saying, everybody together. Listen, damn. Y'all want to argue? Shut up.
That's not arguing. We good. We good.
Good. All right, bro. You're talking to your best still.
All right, bro.
What's the point, bro? What's the point of this, bro? All right. What's the point? Because you keep saying we.
We, after all of us.
Every time they run, I get a lot of road to niggas.
We all wrong with it.
Stop saying we won. They trying to say we,
nigga.
All right,
We come out with some relationship with you.
Not about pointing out who was wrong, who was right, who didn't do what. Because one of those times is going to be you, and that's not going to be the response you want from your teammates. You're going to want them to pick you up, so now you feel good about the situation and try to fix it. Instead of now everybody talking and bitching and moaning, and now everybody's mad, and now we don't accomplish anything. Everybody's going to make mistakes. At some point, from players to coaches, everybody's going to make a mistake at some point. But how is it going to get fixed? How are we going to figure it out to now go down and get a stop and then still come back down with a chance to win the game? Like, how are we going to figure that out? Again, there's only one way that's going to happen, is if we do it together.
Exactly. That's cool.
Go, Johnny. Jack.
He gonna make this point, or he finna fuck somebody? Don't worry about it. We're not worried, buddy.
We'll see what happens. Twin gets that bad. Twin a bad chaser. Hey, Twin a bad chaser. Twin a hustler. Twin a hustler.
Money.
That's why Twin a
He a money maker.
He a money maker. You big red.
Let's go, y'all.
Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike.
Line on my name, Robin. Shut up.
What's the matter? Go down. What are we talking about?
Tell him to touch the line.
Did coach say you didn't touch the line? Then you didn't touch the damn line. There's nothing else to discuss. You think he wants to just make you miserable? No, you didn't do your job, freshman. They're counting on you to be able to do your job. So just do it. There's nothing to talk about.
Just do it again. Just do it again. Make sure you overstep it.
Touch line, nigga. I was sure it's gonna
Good, bro. Build for it, bro. Build for it, bro.
You good. He right here with you.
I'm trying to take off.
Last one, gang. Hold on. Last one. Everybody make the time. Come on. Stand up, Julian. Oh, I had to burn on.
Listen, everybody's tired, right? Everybody's going through the same thing. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Make your time. Go make your time.
Go, y'all.
And I want to argue and I got to be right and you're wrong. And it's not about that. How do we fix the problem in the adverse moment, right? So we can continue or still accomplish whatever goal it is at that moment, that game, that season. We have to get better at that. Right.
Family on three. Family on three. 1, 2, 3.
Family.